Okay, welcome all. So, sorry for the mix-up. So, the lecture today is t-test. We want to learn about hypothesis testing using t-test. So, that is the topic for today. Now, t-test is a method of comparing two sets of data to compare whether there is a significant difference between two sets of data. Now, when you form hypothesis, what you intend to do is to draw an inference between two sets of data. So one way by which we can test hypothesis is by using t-tests to determine whether there's a significant difference between two pair of data. So the t-test is what we want to go through today. It is used to compare the means of two samples, even if they have different numbers of replicates. That is to say, t-test compares the actual difference between two means in relation to the variation in the data, whether there's a significant deviation from the means of the two samples. So the t-test is carried out using the formula that you saw on the description of this live class. T equals x1 bar minus x2 bar divided by square root of s1 squared over n1 plus s2 squared over n2. Some of these notations are familiar. The T is the t-test. The x bar is the mean. So x1 bar indicates the mean of the first group. X2 bar indicates the mean of the second group. Now, the S1 and S2, they represent the variances of the two sets of values. All right. So the variances will be calculated. Then there is a term called S, ordinary S, that is pooled together. When you have two sets of data, you now calculate a pooled variance, and is calculated with the formula S squared equals summation xi minus x1 bar squared plus summation xi minus x2 bar squared divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2. So with that, you can determine the pooled variance between these samples, the samples 1 and 2. That is the pooled variance of set of data 1 and set of data 2. Now it is this pool variance that we can now utilize in the T formula to determine the T statistics, the formula given earlier. Now the degree of freedom to this is n1 plus n2 minus 2. n1 plus n2 minus 2. That is the degree of freedom. So when you want to calculate this, you want to first of all, when you want to use the t-test to determine the level of significance or the difference between two sets of data, you need to first, develop hypotheses. Usually we have two hypotheses or more, and then the first hypothesis is a null hypothesis, which does not see any difference between these two sets of data. Null hypothesis assume that there is no difference between the two sets of data. But the alternative hypothesis is the one that shows that there is a difference between the two sets of data. So by the time you finish the calculation, you check the statistics you obtain with the standard value on the statistical table to determine whether there's a significance or there's no significance at a particular level of significance that is chosen. Usually we choose a 5% level of significance for the test. Unless otherwise indicated, there could be 1%, 5%, or 10%, depending on the research that is being carried out. So we calculate the t-test and then we determine the level of significance. Then we'll be able to make an inference between the two sets of data. Now, I want all of you to, if you can hear me, just type yes. Say yes in the chat box. If you can hear me, tell me that you can hear me so that I know whether you people are hearing me or not. So please type yes. All right. Okay. So we have only 12 people here. Now, what we expect now is that you should type your registration number. Indicate your registration number into chat box. I need your registration number now. So that is about t-test. Now, shortly after now, after I collect your registration number, I will switch over to Zoom, whereby I could be able to share my screen. I will share my screen so that you people can actually, you know, uh, see the example on t-test, so that you can see the example on the t-test. So quickly, let everybody put down the matric number. I want to switch over to Zoom. I'll give you a link to the Zoom through maybe through this live class or through your class rep. Then we check an example on what I've just explained. So that is what we are going to do. All right. So I could see that you are typing yes into the box and your matriculation number. I can see that. That's fine. So now I want to quickly collect the remaining matriculation number. What I have here is about okay, okay. You are about 14. You're around 14 here now. So after collecting these matriculation numbers, then we will switch over to the Zoom so that I can actually demonstrate the example. Okay. Okay, I hope everybody has done that. All right, so I will switch now from here to the Zoom, whereby I will then give you the login. I'll give you the login detail. So right now, I want to end this class. Okay, because I don't want to waste your data on this one. So we're going to go to Zoom if you're able to join. If not, you will watch it after I post the the video on my channel. All right, thank you for joining. So later, we send the link to the representative so that she could send it to you, and then all of us can join the Zoom. All right, I'm ending this now.